Boxing. How are you guys?
I'm doing really good, man. So real quick, I know, so Rob, and Esther are the owners of MFC. Sky is our head of production. I mean, we're doing great, man. We could dive in on how it started, all that kind of cool stuff, man, and just whatever you got for us.
No, for sure. I mean, I did have a few questions. I mean, but I want to go into detail as we talk. But first off, I mean, Melee Fighting Championship, who came up with that name?
Rob. Yeah, I mean, well, Rob came to me. I mean, what, about two years ago, Rob? Maybe.
Yeah, going on 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah, and Rob's had this idea. I mean, I'll let you jump in. Rob's had this idea for, I couldn't even tell you how many years.
Yeah, no, it's been a while, but so the name actually it's funny. It's not so much of a cool story. It's more like I'm a gamer. And we were like, what's a good word for up close combat, because that's kind of how we like to do. And we kind of just kept playing around with some words and stuff, and that's kind of how we came with melee, because every time we were, you do like Call of Duty or something like that, and you melee somebody to the face, we were like, perfect.
Well, that's pretty cool though, man. I gotta say that's a cool story. But and of course, I mean, like Jeffrey stated, I mean, this has been an idea that's been going in your head for a few years. And I mean, when it was finally time to hit that button, I mean, what made you decide, okay, you know what, it's the right time?
The right people to work with, man. That's really what it is. Being able to work with Jeff and Sky, me and Esther, we really were just searching for the right people. And, we couldn't be more happy to have been able to put this team together and work with them. And I mean, they're making it happen, as you can see. So, yeah, that's really where it goes when it comes to time. And we've always wanted to do this, but we knew if we didn't start off right and with the right people, that it would disappear. But we knew Austin, it needed it. It had to have it.
No, for sure. I've been covering the sport for years, and I mean Jeffrey Meadows. I mean, of course, I know the guy, I know the gym. A lot of his students and coaches I've known for years. So I mean, Austin, what is it about Austin that you think that I mean, a lot of other promotions have came up and failed? I mean, why do you think that is? Because of having the right people?
I think of course, the team is everything. Well, whenever it comes to this deal, but Austin specifically is the economy. It's very challenging because everything in Austin, everybody's moving here. I think it's the right words, gentrification, right? Where they're building all this crazy expensive stuff and it's pushing the low income out. I mean, Austin, Texas has been doing that since I've lived here since 1999. And it's been growing progressively, and everything's expensive from hotels. So the biggest thing is having this team, our sponsorships is really what helps make all this possible, and down the road, after we start generating, a name for ourselves, the income's going to come in. But I think that's one of the biggest challenges, is just because everything is just so expensive here. And there are ways around it, but what Rob said, without the right team, it's very, very challenging. And, Rob came to me about 2.5 years ago. I just signed a contract as one of their boxing coaches. This is right when I transferred out of a garage, because I trained out of a garage for about 2.5 years. And it was just black sheep boxing. And then we're shooting the shit one day, and he's got this idea. He goes, Jeff, man, like I have this idea. I want to do this. And he's actually given another person an opportunity, but nobody was hungry, at the time. And it was not, we weren't really joking about it. But he had this idea, and I mean, fuck, man, we just hit the ground running. We literally, Rob and Esther are the key reason why they've made this possible, because all the back of house stuff that nobody sees, Esther and Rob, especially Esther, I mean, she is a wizard when it comes to legal stuff. There's so many moving parts to this that I know I most likely probably couldn't have done it, for one, from my background and everything like that. The commission, they're very, very, very strict on who they work with, Right. So when Rob and Esther, they dove in head first, and, and we just worked together for, I think it took about 17 months, guys, to get the fight license.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's a lot of stuff nobody sees. Nobody sees that countless hours of paperwork, you know, that Esther and Rob were doing, and nobody, I don't think anybody truly understands what it takes to start an actual promotion, and to have a full real production, not these Mickey Mouse promotions to where we're doing stuff in these rundown places. Like me and Rob and Esther, we have a very, very specific image. It's very black and white for us. We're gonna develop something that's 5 stars, and if we can't, we're not going to do it.
No, yeah, well, I mean, definitely makes sense because, like you said, I mean, a lot of, like, I had no idea it took that long. I'll say that much. I mean, I've never done promotions. I've never done any paperwork like that. But I mean, I would think that even just for it to take that long, I mean, a lot of people would have quit like 2-3 months in, because obviously it's something that you got to keep packing at. So what was it that kept you guys going, John and Esther?
What do you think?
Because when we do it, we do it.
Yeah.
We don't.
That's
If we're gonna do it, you're gonna blow it up, you know. Like, we don't just do small things. If we gotta pick something, we're gonna do it with passion and finish it. So this is where we're at.
I think one of the biggest things is all of our brains work the same way. We work 7 days a week, Spider, like, and I'm not maximizing that. We'll be on the phone with each other till 11 o'clock. We'll be answering calls at 6 a.m. And we move quick. That's one thing about, you know, Sky included, the team, and then we can get into RJ as well, you know, our staff and our matchmaker. We all think the same way when it comes to business. And when we decide something, it's within hours that we have that wheel in motion. And like, we do not stop. And I personally think that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm not going to say we're successful, because we just started, but we've accomplished a lot of challenges with this promotion, because we all think the same way when it comes to business. When we commit, come hell or high fucking water. We do not stop. And probably until the state of Texas says you cannot fucking do this anymore. You know, but I like to think we've got some really healthy relationships with the commission. And I think I could speak for all of us, you know, the way we work with the commission, TDLR, we don't cut corners with them. We're very transparent with them. We're very professional. We don't hide anything from them. And I like to think that's made this process a lot less painless, because a lot of people will try to cut corners. They'll try to hide stuff. They'll try to save money here or there. And it's like, we're not doing this to make money. I know me, Rob, and Esther, and Sky have talked about this. We're doing this to help bring, you know, the combat sport industry in Austin, Texas, to bring it back alive since King of Combat, since those days. And I think it's been like 15, 17 years since there was a promotion here.
Oh yeah, it's been a while, man. I mean, for sure. And let me ask you guys this. I mean, obviously you guys are all fans of combat sports, right?
Correct.
You kind of have to be, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, watching other promotions, I mean, of course, I mean, here in the state of Texas, I mean, of course, there's a few amateur promotions out there as well. Pro, I think we only have like 2, 3. You guys started this off as an amateur promotion, but are you guys looking to go pro, like say next year?
That's correct. We've already acquired all the paperwork we need and licensing for the pro. So it's not something where, you know, we could step in at any time, but we like Jeff said, we're pacing ourselves and making it to where it's all a very solid foundation as we go, so that when we do take on that pro, it's exactly where and what we want it to be and what we want it to look like.
Yeah. And I could jump in and say this, Spider, is we want to pay the pros what they're worth. We want to give the amateurs the platform where they can actually excel and make it into the UFC or whatever their ambitions are. And so when we will have pro shows, probably on our 3rd or 4th show. On this next card, there might be an opportunity to have 1 pro fight. We've been talking about it. And we'll be releasing all that information with Robert Casper, our matchmaker, real soon. We started matchmaking the other day. But our biggest goal is to give these fighters a real platform, a real platform to where that they can progress on their journeys. And they're not, a lot of these promotions, man, they just fucking use them. They use these fucking fighters to make money. And, you know, I might piss off a lot of people saying that, but, you know, that's why a lot of these promotions fail, because they come into this idea that I'm gonna go get rich, right? Or they come into this idea that it's not about it's not about us. It's not about Rob. It's not about us. It's not about Sky. It's about the fighters. You know, it's about the families that they're providing for, and it's about their journeys. And when we focus on them, I mean, the universe is going to take care of us.
No, for sure, man. And that's true because, I mean, like I said, I mean, I've been covering the sport since 2004. And before that, of course, you know, I was training and I had teammates that would go out there and compete. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, if people are chasing money, it's the wrong sport, man. I'll say that much because a lot of fighters get out because of it. I mean, they think, oh, I'm going to go pro. I'm going to start making the big bucks. And you end up spending more trying to get ready and training and traveling. So it's you got to do it because you love it. So obviously, I mean, being that you guys are on board, involved, and sync as much as you guys do when it comes to the business. I mean, what else? Because I mean, let me say this. On the first event you guys had, of course, for the debut, September 3rd, pay-per-view. I bought the pay-per-view. I was impressed with just that because I said, oh man, you know what? I couldn't make it. So I was going to get online and try to find the feed or find people posting. But whose idea was it to put it on pay-per-view though? Because I enjoyed that.
So I know it was all of our idea, but this is the Wizard and this other individual, Don. But this guy, he's been filming our skate videos since we were 9 years old. He films for a living. But when it comes to videography, we partnered up with Don with ADL Live. But we all could have an idea of what we want to fucking do. But it's this guy. It's him and Don that made that shit fucking possible. When I say the knowledge they have behind that kind of stuff, I don't know shit. Rob and Esther might know. I don't know. No. But I'll let Sky chime in.
Yeah, I mean, basically starting out, coming out of the gates with what we had to offer, you know, with, of course, with Don ADL Live.
Can't hear you, Sky.
A little low. Get closer to the.
Yo.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So I think we were really happy with how it came out for the first show pay-per-view. We had a guy from ESPN come in. He did all the the instant replay. So that was a huge deal. I know I had a lot of people like, dude, y'all did instant replay on your first show. Like that's unheard of. We don't, you don't see very many promotions doing that. So that was really exciting. We had a meeting right after. It was, we're still packing up things, and me and Don are like, okay, this is what we got to improve on. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. So even the next show, looking back, we're going to be like, oh man, yeah, that we've already stepped it up a huge notch for January 29th at the Coliseum. We've already done some production walkthroughs, working on getting the lighting all squared away. We're going to have it at the venue. The live broadcast will be shown to the fighters in their warm-up rooms. There's going to be TVs all over the venue. So if you're ordering a drink, you're going to be able to see it, just like you're at a NFL game, or whatever. So it's just going to be a lot of extra little things that are just going to take it to that next level. And the Coliseum itself, just the production level of there, they definitely live up to their name. The place is very grand, and it's just a really cool spot. So it's just a dream as a production guy to come in and have this canvas to work with, and to be able to, paint the picture for the viewers. And of course, we all are on the same page of doing it for the fighters. So they have a platform that can be seen, and they can, make it and be successful in the sports.
Yeah, I'd say that's one thing I think we all agreed upon was when it comes to the pay-per-view. Yeah, we wanted it for those who couldn't make it, but we wanted the fighters to have the opportunity to really be, visualized for what they were going for in the sport. And that opportunity, I think, is one of the most important opportunities you can give these fighters.
Mm-hmm.
No, you see,
I know.
Because earlier, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say a lot of viewers, they don't understand what these fighters go through to get ready for, 3-3-minute rounds or for, 3-5-minute rounds or whatever it is, months and months and months of planning, being an owner of a combat sport facility. We have a very large professional and amateur team, whether it's boxing, Muay Thai, mixed martial arts, and we see it day in and day out, and the sacrifices these guys make. So whenever they're able to showcase on pay-per-view, it means a lot to them, because we want these fighters, and we want everybody that fights on our promotion. We want them to feel valued. We want them to feel respected. And most of all, we want them to go into this saying that I'm going to fight for MFC because this is a really good opportunity to be seen by the world.
No, for sure. You see, and that's one of the things that I enjoy as a fan myself, because like I said earlier, I couldn't make it to that venue or to that event for you guys. But like everybody else, I was on social media, I was scrambling, and I said, man, I wanna, there was a couple of fights I wanted to see myself. But you guys definitely, like I said, I mean, if you're gonna go big, because I mean, it was on pay-per-view. You guys had 2 title fights on your first event, so that was pretty dope. And of course, something happened with weigh-in, so
In this way, you could say it. It's real clear cut.
No, but I'm just saying the fact that you guys had them out there, it's because even though this was y'all's first promotion, there was athletes that have been fighting for years already. So you had that, they had the fan following. I mean, of course, a lot of them are looking forward to going pro and making it to the big show, or whether it's, UFC, PFL, Bellator. But there's a lot of options out there. But I mean, I love the platform. I mean, I got to say that, because I mean, everything was professional. You guys definitely showcased a lot just for being your first event. So I'll give you kudos for that, man. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now let me ask you, when it comes to the fight game, I mean, of course, the next card's already being worked on. So it's not something that's like, okay, let's work on it, a week before. I mean, this is like process. I mean, there's like weeks, I mean, months, maybe weeks going into the next card. So right now, the matchmaker's actually working on it, correct?
Yes. So I'm sure you're familiar with RJ, Robert Casper. I think he had his first amateur fight when he was 18. He's our head MMA coach over at Black Sheep. And we started matchmaking about 3 days ago. This is kickboxing and MMA only. We'll probably have 3/4 of our fights will be mixed martial arts. We're shooting for, I think, Rob and Esther, correct me if I'm wrong, shooting for about 18 fights. I would like to put on no less than 18 on this next show. And I know like 12 to 15 is a sweet spot, but at the end of the day, I know successful promotions, they have a successful business model. So, I would almost be stubborn to not, model it after what these successful promotions are doing, and so, yeah, we're going to have, I think, maybe 4 kickboxing bouts. We will have 2 more title fights. And we had such a long gap from September 3rd to January 9th because me, Rob, and Esther and Sky were never going to say, all right, we have nothing to improve on. We're never going to be like, all right, we've made it. All right, this is it. We have a lot of growing to do. We have a lot of adjustments to make. And the last thing we want to do is rush anything.
Right.
And I think, Rob and Esther, y'all jump in. I would like to think after this next show, we're shooting for every other month to have a show.
Yep.
I gotta say, because every month, I mean, that's insane. I mean, I like it. I mean, the fact that there is enough amateur fighters out there, enough pro fighters to fill up cards. I mean, I hope you guys can pull that off, man, because that would be actually pretty. It'd be pretty interesting. It keep me busy as a media guy, so definitely looking forward. But when it comes to combats, I mean, you said it's only MMA and kickboxing, but as far as the intermission, what are you guys doing to keep the fans busy during intermission?
No intermissions. I mean, we might.
I wouldn't think so, man.
Yeah, no. At the end of the day, man, you got to understand these guys are in the back warming up for hours. One of our coaches, he fought on RJ. He fought for a promotion out in Houston, and their UFC Fight Pass. They had to go on exactly at a certain time. He was scheduled to fight maybe like 2 hours after first bell. He was in the back, bro, for 7.5 hours. Intermissions. And it's like, nobody takes that into consideration. Like, of course, we're going to have commercials, but I'm not going to waste a lot of time and energy and money on an intermission when I got fighters that have been in the back for 5 fucking hours that haven't eaten, you know what I mean? That are ready to get in that cage. It's go time, man. It's time to get these guys in front of a crowd. And of course, if we get to a spot where we're having 20, 24 fights, there's going to have to be some type of intermission. But I think even TDLR, they were really happy that we didn't do that. A lot of people came up to me and Rob after the show, and they were really grateful that we didn't prolong the show out, didn't have intermissions. Like, we're there to fight. We're there to put on a show. We're not there to hang out and waste time, and just again, people don't realize what these fighters are in the back doing, man. They're waiting. They're in their head. you know, and high anxiety. Like, so for them, we just need to get through it.
No, and that's true because I mean I've been to events like I mean of course promotions on the UFC Fight Pass, Bellator, the same thing when they're on TV. You know, the guys in the back getting warmed up, only to get somebody to come in and say, "Hey man, we're gonna start the TV time." You know, you go on after the main event, and he's already, you know, been warming up for the past 30, 40 minutes. So now it's, but yeah, I mean that's interesting too, though, man. I mean, I just want enough time for me to you know, reschedule and be able to change my camera settings and everything. Other than that, I'm good, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But tell me, I mean, as far as keeping busy, of course, you said the next event's not going to be till the beginning of the year.
That's correct. Yeah, January 29th is when we're doing the next event at the what is it, downtown Coliseum?
Yep.
Is that how you pronounce it right?
I think it's, yeah. I think, well, on social media, it's a Hispanic venue. So the Coliseum, I think that's like the name for it, but in English it's called the Coliseum. And Mundo, the guy that runs it, man, they're just amazing people. We've really got to get to know them really well, and they're just really good people. So we're really excited to work with them.
Yeah, excited for that.
I mean, and this is the relationship you guys were talking about. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. I think there's a delay on timing or something on my side. My bad. Go ahead.
No, not at all. I was just saying the relationship because obviously, I mean, you guys are getting the right people. It seems as far as the venue, you know, for the production. I mean, that's just part of the team, right? I mean, what else are you guys looking for, or is this it? Is this the team?
Rob, you want to take that one?
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Can you clarify that a little bit more? You say like we're looking for like other people to add to the team, or...
Right. Well, I'm saying like, I mean, because right now, I mean, you guys seem like you're setting everything in order, but I mean, are you guys still looking for to add more people, or is this going to be the team itself?
So I think what we would like to do is stick with the team we have and just polish ourselves off. That we've got, like you said, we've got a lot of improvement. We're not, you know, new to the game of events and expos and those type of things. And we realize that in order to achieve the level that we want to achieve for the athletes and for ourselves and the show we want to provide, that we just really need to focus on what we have and how to make it the best we can before we add it. I'm not saying that we would never, you know, consider opening it up. But at this point, I think we really we want to focus on what we need to build and how we need to make it the highest quality we can. So that's kind of what we're doing right now, is just staying where we're at and just really elevating everything. And then, you know, maybe revisit that later on.
Okay. And as of right now, because somebody had brought it up to me the other day as far as what I'm doing, and they were like, man, no matter what you do, you can always perfect your craft. You can keep working on it. You can keep, you know, just adding or just removing. But it seems, I mean, this is pretty much it, right? What you're saying is, I mean, everybody's going to go back and kind of be like, okay, this is what we did on the first one. You know, what can we do better? What can we add to it? And just keep going with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like we said, our goal, and we really do mean this, and I will have the time to prove it. We really, really want to do everything we can for the athletes. That's the original reason that we have all come together and doing what we're doing, you know, and everything that we've done prior to this, it's always been about these athletes and creating something, because we've all been athletes ourselves, right? Every one of us here, I'm sure, has been an athlete in some form or another. And in doing so, we've realized like how we always wish that somebody would have done it a different way, or a little bit better, or highlighted or focused on these things that really would have made it mean a lot more when we're expending our lives and our blood and our sweat, you know, for these promotions. And so that's really what we're going for when it comes to this. Does that make sense?
No, definitely. And let me ask you, Jeffrey Meadows, I mean, as far as running your gym, I mean, of course you have fighters. I think your matchmaker is actually fighting this week.
So he was, but due to you know, he had some stuff going on, so he won't be fighting this week for Peak. But you know, that's the fight game, and that's what we have to realize. A lot of these people, the fans and whatnot, they don't understand what goes on behind closed doors and how many things, I wouldn't say that could go wrong, but could derail somebody from a fight. You know, it could, I mean, there's so many things that could go on, and it could be something that has nothing to do with fighting. You know, it could be something personal. It could be something with a family member, you know, and it's just a fight game. You know, like we had, just for our title fights, you know, we had both of our title fights, they missed weight, you know, and it really stunk, because as our first show, you know, we wanted to put a belt around somebody. that at the end of the day, we can't get upset. We can't get frustrated because this is the fight game. Anything could happen. And anything could happen up to minutes before they walk into that cage, you know, and that's just what it is. But, you know, RJ, Robert, I can't even express, you know, the kind of human that he is. He is one of the most selfless coaches. He's one of the most selfless employees. He truly cares about the sport. You know, so anytime something happens with RJ, like there's a huge valid reason for it. You know, he works harder than a lot of professionals that I know, you know, and he's matchmaking, he's coaching, he's training, he trains jujitsu with our good friends over at Val. He does strength and conditioning, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, like it's just a fight game.
No, for sure. I mean, and that's another thing too, because I mean, last minute, I know there's a couple of incidents that I've been to, and of course promotions, and the fighters, they just don't show up. I mean, plain and simple, you know. So some have excuses.
Well, that's bullshit.
Hopefully that don't happen.
Yeah, that's a different story. But
Yeah.
that shows character, lack of communication. And that's one thing that I think it's safe to say with Rob, we're very strict. You know, if somebody does a no call, no show or something like that, they will not fight for us again. And that's one thing, we give people the opportunity. The minute they burn a bridge and you know, we're very black and white, you know, because we'll bend over backwards for these athletes. But if you burn us, some of that sort, we just got to move on.
No, for sure, man. And let me ask you, because earlier, I mean, Rob, you were saying as far as everybody being an athlete, everybody having to, you know, at one time competing or still competing, coaching. What has everybody done? I mean, as far as I know, you know, Black Sheep Boxing is going on, but I mean, for you guys, you know, I mean, what have you done before as far as sports? I mean, team like team sports, individual sports.
Yeah. So for me personally, I actually started out fighting in Colorado for this is years and years ago, round one in Colorado Springs. Loved it, you know, had a lot of fun doing it. That's really where I gained it. My love for the sport itself, just going in there and bashing heads in, it's the time of my life, you know? So yeah. Then, you know, we kind of branched off, me and Esther, into powerlifting sports, bodybuilding, that kind of stuff, strongman. We both love having a lot of fun with the sports. And just, you know, playing around with all of them, to be honest. Strongman, powerlifting is kind of our thing. But
We started jiu-jitsu in the military.
yeah,
too.
jiu-jitsu as well.
Yeah. But
You see, on the first event, I mean, you guys did that. Is that why there was a collaboration as far as the Tough Man and then having the MMA like in the same venue?
Yeah, yeah. So we've been for quite a while now, not only you know, ourselves, but running expos and events in strongman, powerlifting, arm wrestling, that kind of stuff, strict curl. So yeah, that's why we wanted to bring it all together, because again, we're a fan, and Jeff and Sky, and we know that's why we work so well together. They're the same. We believe in having a well-rounded show. Not every show, obviously, but definitely something where everybody can enjoy a piece of everything, right? You seeing somebody get knocked out and you turn around and there's a dude pulling a fire truck, and then you turn around and, you know, somebody's squatting 1,000 pounds, and then, you know, it's just,
Yeah.
It's fun.
No. And let me ask you, Jeffrey Meadows, as far as your training, I mean, because you do coach, I see you living the life, man. I mean, I see you, you know, on the weekends going out there to the waters and having fun. But I mean, as athletes, as coaches, as people, I mean, we do need that downtime. We need to unwind and kind of remind ourselves, okay, you know what, let's take a weekend off and you know, settle down a little bit.
Yeah, so me and Sky have a little bit of a different type of story. So I'll let Sky chime in here in a minute, but my background comes from the penitentiary. I did about a little over 9 years in Texas Department of Corrections for drinking and driving. And before that, I trained at LA Boxing years ago when it was John's Gym. It's John's Gyms now, but this was, I'm talking, what, 15, maybe 14 years ago. And so I got heavy into boxing then, and then I did most of my time. And how I made a living in the penitentiary is I would help inmates lose weight depending on how much money they have coming on their commissary. I help build meal plans, and then I would help them lose weight through the fundamentals of boxing. And that's really, I spent probably about 80% of my time studying kinesiology, anatomy. I got my GED and I studied everything about combat sports, specifically boxing. And then, you know, Sky, we've been best friends since 8 years old. We grew up together in Houston. Sky owns a gym in Houston called Unity Mixed Martial Arts and MMA. It's been in his family for 31 years.
It's our 30-year anniversary. So May of next year will be 31 years.
Yeah. And it's, you know, he's a black belt in Taekwondo. And unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to go down an amateur career just because the universe had different plans for me. And, you know, one day I called him up and I trained out of my garage for about 2.5 years, saving up every penny. And I'm like, bro, like, you know, him and his wife, they know everything about running a gym. And I used to train every time I'd get out of prison, I'd go to Rob and Esther's gym. And, you know, I would send letters when I was in prison to Big Tech's gym. And I was, you know, good friends with Rob's brother, Josiah. And then Joe, his brother, would write me. And so I always had this connection to Rob and Esther. And finally, whenever I turned my life around, you know, so Rob and Esther, they've always been there, you know, and their gym specifically, it was a safe space for me. It was one of the only gyms that I could go to where I wasn't out fucking up. You know what I mean? So we always had this connection together. There was always this relationship. And then when Sky helped me open up Black Sheep, because I didn't know what to fucking do. I'm like, bro, I got the money, I saved up, like, tell me what to fucking do. And he was actually out looking he wanted to open up another gym. He was looking for property in New Braunfels or somewhere.
Yeah, one of my black belts came and was like, hey, you need to come up here. New Braunfels is exploding. Come open up a gym. And I have a very clear vision of when I see it, it's like cinematic to me. And I'm like, yeah, this is it. I'm there. I'm just like, not feeling it, bro. Not feeling it. And no time passes. Jeff calls me and I'm like, yeah, I'm over here just doing a walkthrough. He's like, no, screw that. Come to Austin. We're going to change the whole fight game. You know, let's make it happen. And the rest pretty much was history from that point.
Yeah. And it was really cool though, because Rob and Esther got me out of my fucking garage. And I was so fucking scared to get out of my garage because I was comfortable. I had the clientele. You know, and HOA kicked me out of 3 garages because I guess they thought I was selling drugs or something, because there was so many cars all day just coming into the garage. And my good friend at the time, he told me, he goes, Jeff, hey man, like, I was living with them and I was using his garage, and he goes, bro, like, I love you, but you can't do this shit no more. Like, he had no peace, and it was rightful so, you know what I mean? Because I had this image, and I told Sky, I'm like, I'm opening up a gym one day. I manifested it. And then I didn't know where I was going to go. And it was cool because I think I messaged Esther on social media, and she told me that they were going to reach out to me because they needed a boxing coach. So that was really cool because they already had this image because we had each other on social media. And it was just the timeline of everything was just so perfect. And I took that leap of faith. I signed a contract with Rob and Esther, and they let me buy a fucking 22-foot boxing ring and put it in the middle of their fucking facility. And it was crazy. Like, they believed in me. I said, I had this vision. I'm like, Rob, like, I said, let me do it. I bought this fucking badass boxing ring that's in our facility now. And we literally put it in the middle of their entire facility. Their coaches, everybody's like, what the fuck is going on? And, but it was cool because we brought a lot of business to their facility, and Black Sheep just kept growing. And next thing you know, we rented out, we actually talked to Rob and Esther. They got us the number of the landlord, and this property wasn't even up. It wasn't even a listing. And so we rented out. So we're all in the same shopping center, Big Tech's gym and Black Sheep. And so we live at each other's facilities. And now it's really cool because Rob and Esther, they rent out about 2,500 square foot of the other side of Black Sheep for their strongmen. So even outside of MFC, we're partners. You know, so it's just like, if you really dove into what our relationships look like, what our past look like, I mean, it just makes so much perfect sense to work together.
Man. Well, I mean, that's actually good timing though, because even It's kind of like when they say when in a relationship, if you want to get to know the person, you gotta kind of have to live with them for a while. That's this, right? I mean, you kind of knew how everybody works and how everybody lived, basically. So made sense.
And it's cool because both of our facilities are 24 hours. So I know we have one of the only 24-hour combat sport facilities in the country. And I know there's some 24-hour like strength and conditioning gyms, but if y'all ever have a chance to check out Big Techs, it's different, man. It's from the equipment to the staff to the way it's ran, like it's I mean, just with both of our facilities being 24 hours, their front desk staff are real good friends with my front desk staff. We have, I mean, it's just really cool, man. The relationships and how everything's intertwined. You know what I mean? Like we refer people to them. I coach some of their personal trainers. A lot of my clients train at their gym. So it's just like this really, really cool, you know, everything works in synergy from Big Techs and Black Sheep.
Man, that's actually pretty impressive. I didn't know your academy was actually 24 hours though, bro. That's actually pretty cool. You seen let me say, is this gonna lead into a 24-hour MMA promotion, maybe? I'm just kidding, by the way.
Hey, round the clock. Don't test us, bro. Especially Rob. Rob's fucking ideas, bro. Yeah. So I'm sure Rob will bring that up in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
And let me ask, guys, I mean, as far as, I mean, because of course you have the promotion, you have your own businesses that you guys are running. So, I mean, when do you guys rest? I mean, do you go home and you kind of like, okay, let's leave everything at home, I mean, at the gym and just unwind, or how does it work for you guys?
Well, I know Rob and Ness are probably the same way. Sky physically has to remove me from Austin. Literally call him up and I'm like, bro, get me the fuck out of here. And he'll call me back literally 2 hours later and goes, all right, I booked a flight to Colorado. Because if we're here, I mean, it just can't turn it off.
And wherever we're at, we still work all day, but it's just part of our life. You know, if you take a day off, you get backed up too far back. It's hard to.
I can't hear you.
We love what we do, so it's just one of those things. Where, you know,
but Rob and Nestor, I have no fucking idea how they do it, because they don't. I think I work a lot. Rob and Nestor, this is safe to say, they put on more shows than any promoter that I've ever known in my life. Whenever it comes to bodybuilding, because they could dive into that, but their work ethic, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be us. That's gonna be us in about 5 years.
I mean, Don and Nestor, how do you guys do it? I mean, what is it? I mean, do you guys have to like tell each other, okay, let's get out of here, or let's do something else?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't yet, but we should. We definitely should. It is time to slow down, but we're hungry, man. I got to be honest. Like, it feels like time creeps up on you, and you never can get enough done. So yeah, we need to break away. We eventually plan on it, but we're really hungry right now, and we want to. You know, we want to do everything. Like, I don't know. I'm one of those people, like, I get addicted to creating new stuff that seems impossible to do and then hurrying up and doing it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, Jeffrey, you know, Meadows was saying as far as ideas, man, what are some of the ideas? And I mean, I'm pretty sure you don't want to say them all because, you know, you want to be the first to do them. But I mean, are there like a lot of things that you want to accomplish this coming year?
Yeah, absolutely. I can tell you, like, previously, idea-wise, just because, you know, again, like you said, I don't want to really announce anything that we have on the thing yet, but it will be soon announced. Last year, we jumped on, and Jeff, you can attest to this, but we jumped on strongman. We do a lot of strongman shows. I believe last year we did close to 16 strongman expos, and we wanted to be the first to start the USS Pro International Championship, and so we did. And we got permission from USS and we did it. And it was a blast. We did our first one. That was the one that was connected to September 3rd's fight. So that's the kind of ideas that we like to, you know, turn into real life shit.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know this, but Rob, he was the owner of the Austin Fit Fest. So he wasn't just MFC. Everything at that fucking festival, it was Esther and Rob they were coordinating it. There was times where I'm like, hey guys, I need you, because they were just pulled in so many fucking directions, you know, and that's what I'm really excited to work with Rob and Esther, because I think our main focus, and, you know, me and Rob and Esther, and we've talked about this multiple times, I think all of our focus is going to be, you know, tunneled in to MFC. And I'm just really excited to see just working with them, because I know I've seen their entire gym. When they first bought the gym, I was there, you know, when they first bought it, and they kept the name, you know, and they had, you know, your brother was involved and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that was when it was like one fucking room. Every time I got out of the penitentiary, there's a whole fucking another facility. And I'm just like, you know, and so a lot of people, they didn't realize that, you know, Rob and Esther, they were running the entire Austin Fit Fest, not even just MFC, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, I'm really excited for the future, because yeah, man, it's going to be really fucking cool. And I know Rob, and they're going to be announcing some stuff soon. And it's going to change the game. I can tell you this, that we will change combat sports in Austin, Texas forever. Oh.
That's actually, I mean, I'm looking forward to that, because I mean, obviously, like we mentioned earlier, you know, it's been a few promotions that fly by nights, you know, they do one show and that's it. But the fact that you guys are looking to do this like every month, eventually, you know, to have a fight every month. I mean, as a fan, I'm looking forward to that, man. I mean, of course, this one was pay-per-view. I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, you guys might be on TV next year. You know, I mean, thinking big, I might be outside the box, but I mean, maybe.
No, we will.
That's
We will.
exactly our goal.
It will happen.
Working with ADL.
Yeah, ADL is definitely been a huge part in helping us put this together. I think that they've definitely got, you know, the knowledge and teamed up with Sky. I really feel like those two are going to put us, when it comes to the television and televised series, it's going to be there for sure.
They also work with previous ESPN and can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So ADL, Don and Nancy, they previous work with National Geographic, correct?
Yeah.
National, and then also they did it with ESPN as well. So we're really looking forward to see what, you know, ADL can.
Yeah, they're no stranger to doing these shows live stream for pro events and big name shows. So yeah.
And Don, our partner with the production, he was the cameraman for the Travel Channel for like, I think like 15 years or something, where he literally traveled the world filming fucking volcanoes and all types of really badass shit, you know? And so it's just everybody that we work with, they bring such a very unique value to the entire production. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, man. Like, we're working with people that have been doing this their entire lives. And, you know, with after we partnered up, me, Rob, and Esther had a very, very specific, clear vision of who we wanted to work with. Like with RJ, I knew immediately. I'm like, I went up to RJ. I'm like, bro, like, be our matchmaker. He's just, I mean, he knows every person in this fucking game. And the cool thing, he has healthy relationships with people. And that's the biggest thing we look for. You know, we work with people that have fucking integrity. And they're all hungry and they want to grow. We don't work with one person that comes out of fucking ego, that thinks that they know it all. Every person is like, what can I do better? And me, Rob, and Esther, like, they fucking hold me accountable. I hold them accountable. Like, we're very transparent in that area. And if we feel that, you know, we need to tighten up, like, they'll call me, I'll call them. Sky will call me, and that's why we work so well together, because we don't co-sign each other's bullshit. You know, like, we're always looking to improve our relationships, improve our partnership, and give these fighters a better platform.
Yeah, I want to shout out to Allison too, because I know that Allison
Yes,
here with us. You know, Allison, Sky's wife, and she does a lot of back end stuff too all the time. So
she does.
Shout out.
Absolutely. She's a phenomenal woman. And there's just so many people that do so much, you know, and everybody just, again, you know, Allison's, yeah, she's a huge part of this as well.
No. And I can only imagine, because for me, I mean, the fact that you guys are looking at maybe even getting on TV next year, that's mind blowing. I mean, I would be, you know, looking forward to that. But back when I started, I mean, the reason I got into media with photography and video, you know, just putting videos up, was because nobody else is doing it. You know, there was a media outlet that was more Austin and I guess Houston, Dallas, and nobody from San Antonio down south. You know, every time I go to these fights, a lot of my teammates wouldn't get, they didn't have anything to show for it. They didn't have photos, no video. And I said, you know what, man, I'm gonna start doing this. And so I just started doing photos and video just to be able to put them out there for the fighters, because I was training with these guys. I was the sparring partner for a lot of the guys that were training, competing back then. And I would see what they would go through. I mean, not just, you know, getting off work, you know, going to the gym and having to train 2-3 hours. And, you know, it's just, I mean, having to deal with life and school. A lot of them, you know, had, you know, work and school they were attending. So it's a lot that they do, but I can only imagine the things that you guys, you know, behind the scenes. So with that being said, could this lead into a reality show?
We talk about that.
It's funny you say that.
So hilarious.
I see it.
Yeah, you're right, 100%. I think that is a great idea.
We can talk about that.
That's one of the things about, you know, working with all of us. The ideas will never fucking end. It's same thing with Black Sheep, same thing with Big Techs. Every week they're adding value, they're adding equipment at my facility. Every week we're coming up with new fucking ways, whether it's promotions, what we could do for our coaches. Like, we don't charge our coaches house fees. Like, we're always thinking that this is Sunday at fucking midnight. I'll send Sky a message, Rob and Esther a message. They're waking up to this fucking idea, you know, or it's just, and that's the cool thing is we will never stop growing any of the businesses that we're running until we're fucking dead.
Yeah.
And let me say this, because Austin, I mean, for years there's been gyms, of course, that have been teaching and having businesses out there. I mean, the promotions have came through, but right now, I mean, like the whole grappling mecca is out in Austin. I mean, you guys now are, you know, in Austin, and when it comes to the tech companies, I mean, like Facebook and other ones that are calling Austin home now. So is this kind of everything? Because I mean, obviously there's momentum, so you know, there's no stopping now, should I say?
No, I know we opened up fucking Black Sheep in the middle of COVID, and 19 out of 20 people told me I'm fucking stupid, you know? And I was like, and you know, Sky could test this. I'll get probably about maybe 5 to 8 emails a day, or I'll get no less than 10 phone calls a day. And the fucking first thing they say, hey, I just moved here. Hey, I just moved here. Literally all emails. Hey, I just moved here. It's the fucking best timing, you know, after Joe Rogan came, what was Elon Musk. I mean, everybody's flocking here. It's a double-edged sword because of course everything's going up pricing. You know, everything's going up, but they don't want to fucking raise minimum wage. Like, so it's this shit show. But if you could capitalize on it and do it the right way, if you look at the past 20 years, this is the best time to start a fucking business in Austin. You just got to do it smart.
Well, you know, I could say this too. I think we're super lucky and blessed that Austin is what it is. You guys all, I'm sure, are familiar with, I'd say this really is true for Texas in general, because I know San Antonio, we lived in San Antonio for a while. The people here, it's amazing to work with and be a part of. Every business, like every gym has opened up their doors. Instead of competing with each other, we're working together. And that's just unheard of in most places that we've traveled prior to, you know? So Texas in general, I feel like has been exciting. We worked with gyms in Dallas. We worked with them in San Antonio. We worked with them in New Braunfels. It doesn't matter whether they're boxing, bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman, it doesn't matter what style of gym, everybody works together. 10th Planet, I mean, these guys, all right, we've got some amazing people out there that are just opening up their doors and willing to be such a personal level and work with you. They're athletes back and forth. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't find that everywhere. And I feel like that's one of the reasons we're able to grow, is because, like he's saying, all these people are moving here, but they're all like ready to work together. There's no lines in the sand drawn. There's no, oh, you're competition, I'm competition. It's like, let's see what we can do all together. You know what I mean? And it just makes it such a growth environment.
Well, I gotta jump in, because from my experience, there are some that are like that, but we don't fucking talk to them or work with them. Because I do know some that are very like their way or the highway, and that's why they're not fucking growing. That's why they peak out. And that's why like they've been in the same spot for 15 fucking years. We just don't fuck with them. But the majority of the people like Curtis over at 10 Planets, a really good friend of all of ours, really, really good friend of mine in Skies. We have a lot of respect for Andrew Craig, Curtis, Gabe Tuttle, all those cats down there. But yeah, the people that are shut off from the world, they put a cap on themselves. They put a cap on their business. They put a cap on the quality of their life. And that's why you never fucking hear of them.
No, and I will say this, because being a media outlet, my studio is actually inside a training facility here in San Antonio. And a lot of it because I'm in another gym, I guess you can say, a lot of people don't come through here. So I get the same thing. It's just, I mean, there's no politics. The owner, Jacob Landon, you know, thank him. He's always like, man, open door, man. Whoever wants to come, you know, to the studio during an interview, they're more than welcome. You know, they can come in, they can hang out. But I've invited gyms out there, and a lot of them don't respond or just say they're not interested. And yeah, it works both ways. You know, I'm trying to promote everybody. I'm trying to give everybody that opportunity to keep growing. For the most part, a lot of gyms do cross train and work with each other. And like, you know, Jeffrey Meadows said, I mean, those are the ones that are growing, because if you put that cap on, like he said, I mean, you're going to stop. I mean, that's where it ends.
Yep.
But let me ask you guys, Austin, Texas, of course, I mean, you call it home. When it comes to the businesses out there, because obviously, I mean, during the pandemic, you know, COVID and all that, a lot of businesses did close. Why do you think you guys kept going? I mean, what was the key factor for you guys business-wise? Because obviously you're still here and you're still going at it. So what was it for you guys?
Would you like to start with that, Jeff, or should I?
It's real simple for me. You know, there's something I read. So when I first started being an entrepreneur years ago, my mentor told me, he said, Jeff, when you want to be successful as bad as you want to fucking breathe, then you will be successful. And that sums it all up for me. That's it. I obsess. I fucking obsess over creating something, being successful, and developing relationships with these other companies. I obsess over improving my relationships with Rob, Esther, Sky. I obsess of giving these fighters a platform, and it will never fucking end. And I could say that unless something catastrophic happens to me, like there's no fucking stopping me. I might touch a lot of hot stoves. I haven't burned any relationships since I've been an entrepreneur. I've quit working with people, but it was in a healthy manner. But I don't know. Rob could, they know, like there's just no fucking stopping. And it's just, nothing's going to get in our way.
Yeah. Yeah, for us, I feel like, again, it goes back to what I was saying prior. We're really blessed. The community in Austin has helped push us through this as a business to survive COVID. You know, if it wouldn't be for the community, I don't think we'd be where we are. We definitely would have had to shut our doors. We are very grateful for the community. I feel like that's why we're here after COVID. Everybody's just been, like I said, just like all the gyms that we've worked with have opened up their doors. The community in general has just been there to support us and stand behind us so that we could be a business that survived. The same for Black Sheep. I feel like, you know, not to speak for you guys, but y'all have such a strong community. It's impressive, you know, and I feel like that's really what helps propel us. It's what drives us forward. This community is just unreal.
Yeah. And I could say, like, I know most of their trainers at Big Techs, and they know most of my coaches. Me, Rob, and Esther can only do so much. And Sky, me, Rob, Esther, Sky, we can only do so much. But the backbone, our coaches, our fucking community, those are the motherfuckers that continue to help take us to the next level. We bring people through the door. We have all these fucking crazy ideas. You know what I mean? We jump into the deep end head first, you know, not knowing how to swim, but our coaches and the community, those are the people that I just got to give so much credit to them, because again, the owners can only do so much. And even as a boxing coach, I barely coach anymore, you know, because I'm so busy growing these businesses. And it's my job to make sure my coaches eat. It's my job to make sure that our community has a safe place. If people aren't coming through the door, that's me. That's on me. You know, and I personally, that's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but it's not about Jeff anymore. It's about our coaches. It's about the community. And I really feel like Rob and Esther could agree, because how many people that is in y'all's facility rely on y'all's place to feed their fucking families? You know, all my coaches, Spot, I'll tell you this. When I opened up this facility, I told my coaches, a lot of my coaches work full-time jobs. Every single one of my coaches makes a living off one-on-ones, off what we pay them. Every single one. I had coaches quit their moving companies. I had my RJ, he stopped working at the mental health place because, you know, he had to. Now all of our coaches, they make a living doing what they love. And it's our job to keep, you know, the community full so they can continue to provide for their families.
Oh, that's nice though, man. I mean, definitely, because I mean, I know, like, you know, I worked throughout COVID. I'm a contract delivery driver here in San Antonio. So for me, I was kind of like, man, okay, what am I gonna do? Because if this business is stopped or they close down, but it was the other way for me. I kept busy. You know, I was working nonstop. I mean, 7 days a week. I'm still working 7 days a week. But it was fun, you know. I mean, for the fact, not that, you know, what happened, it was unfortunate, but I mean, for me, I was able to get out there and kind of see the growth because people were still moving in, businesses were opening up, some closing. But I mean, you know, like I said, I mean, I am a fan of the sport. I've been a fan of the sport. The fact that you guys are planting that seed and it's already been planted, so now, you know, watch it grow. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to see what's to come, because even you know, with the growth of you know, the promotion, of course, you know, Melee 2, which is happening next year. I mean, I can only imagine what to expect, because I'm going to be, you know, looking forward to see what else you guys come up with. That's going to be exciting and interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think it's safe to say that, you know, I'm probably jumping the gun a little bit, but I believe me, Rob, and Esther would love to give you a cage side seat for this next show and to get you out, and maybe you could see it firsthand and just be a part of it. You know, the cool thing about being the owners that we could do that. we would love to have you cage side. You know, I think it'd be really nice to have you there this next show.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it's on this last one. Honestly, I was gonna buy a ticket and head out there because I wanted to watch it, but I just couldn't make it at all. So that's why I was like, man, pay-per-view, you know, perfect. But yeah, by all means, if you guys can save me, I don't even have to sit down. I'll be walking around taking photos. So no, but I appreciate that though.
Oh yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, I definitely want to bring you guys back on here as things keep moving. Like I said, I'm looking forward to see what else is coming up. I mean, if you guys get on TV, even better, you know, but
Yeah.
I'll still want to watch it live. But if there's anything else you guys want to add before we wrap this up.
No, we appreciate your time. You know, I know everybody's busy here, so I really appreciate you actually take your time to do the interview with us. And we're looking forward for the next one. And when we all become bigger and more successful next time, we'll
Yeah.
see each other.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, man. We really appreciate it. I know, besides thanking our coaches in the community and everybody that supports us, you know, all the fans, everybody that believes in us. I mean, that's really it, man. Because without them, it's just a fucking idea. You know, they're our supporters. They make this possible. So.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate all this. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
All right, later, brother.
All right, bye-bye.